You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flash and Blow podcast. I'm Siobhan. Old men who speak of victory shed light upon their stolen lines. They drive by night and act as if they're moved by unheard music. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. We have Rosie.
Yes, Rosie Cat.
Who gets introduced first, apparently, now. And then, oh, hello. Something's happened to Brian. He's had a terrible accident. And, oh, my God.
My.
Reminds me
Hello,
of Darth
the
Vader.
Brian.
Hello. It reminds me of Darth Vader. I mean, I can't stand Darth Vader. I find his lack of face disturbing. Oh, come on. Wow.
You know what? I do have one job on this ship. Hang on.
I thought you were going to say on this shit. Yeah, you're not even doing that right. Where's the timing? Yep. Right then, this week's show. First of all, apologies for no show last week. We're going fortnightly. My body, unfortunately, can't do 2 shows at a weekend anymore. So
You know, I know a good doctor that could help you out with that.
I wish you would send me their contact details because I'd love that. Thank you.
They'll just have to, dig you up a new one soon.
Fair enough. It's sorry, I'm going to be refilling my vape as we go along. Yeah, so it's going to be a fortnightly show from now on. I'm sorry about that. It's purely me. It's just the past couple of times we've role played, I've realised on the Sunday I'm wiped out. So, blame my disease. Right, how's your week been, Brian?
I've been a little under the weather.
Yeah. Oh dear.
But,
Can you get a cream?
There's an ointment, topical solution.
An
Maybe a
unction.
suppository.
You want an unction. That's what you need.
Need to let the humors balance and everything.
Yes, consult an apothecary.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered leeches? I'm told if you suck at least 1 twice a day, you'll be fine.
Yeah, a good leeching might be in order. Of course, the child has moved out and is on his own, so I'm no longer really being leeched. So
Sorry, I'm just getting bizarre mental images at the moment. Oh dear. A little bit, how's your week been?
A little up and down, as we kind of expected this week would be.
Yep.
I
saw
but
the post.
did some fun stuff with some friends. A work colleague's leaving due was Friday. She's moving to another school, so we had a nice little party for her. And then went to a Halloween party at a friend's house yesterday, which was a lot of fun, and got to dress up.
I saw the photo, yes. So I'm starting to
Yes.
sound like some sort of creepy stalking person. No, it's the Facebook
I
feed.
sent you the photo.
Oh, yes, you did, didn't you? See?
Did.
See?
Yes, it's not weird.
Back off, Judge Judy.
Yeah, I did like an 80s side ponytail and cut up my old college sweatshirt.
Oh, wow. Now, the thing is, you and I have got to keep talking for as long as possible before the Doctor Who segment, because the longer we stay talking, the longer he's going to keep the mask on. Mwah! Ah, dear. So...
what makes you think I actually want to take this
Well, you
off?
did just tell me it was very relaxing because of the way it makes you breathe.
Yeah. It's great
And
for,
I'm not going to dispute
in
that.
through the nose, out through the mouth.
I'm not disputing that in the slightest. I think that's a very fair thing. You're probably wondering what I'm doing, for those who don't know. I'm vaping. because I'm
Tell them why.
trying to give up smoking. However, these things need constant refilling. Right, there we go. And then you leave it. I've got to remember right. You've got to leave it for about 5 minutes on gas mark 7.
Which reminds me, actually, I'm going to have to go in a second and get the sausages out of the oven that I did not time
Sorry, I
properly.
thought you hadn't set the TiVo for Bake Off.
No, that's on Fridays. I don't have to set a TiVo. It's on Netflix.
I wonder if it's going to be possible to actually make him laugh really hard, break him whilst he's wearing the mask.
You never know.
I know. You could fall asleep and...
What makes you think I'm not?
Well, you normally start looking at other things because you're bored. I don't know.
Yeah, but this time I have to look out of the holes and focus, so...
Are you my mummy?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not going there.
Okay. Early warning, I am going to be controversial. What I say will be entirely my own views. They do not necessarily reflect the views of Elizabeth or Brian. It's purely me. Okay? I alluded to it at the start of last week's show and then dropped some very heavy hints during last week's show. I was just lucky the conversation went that way to allow me to. However, I can't stay quiet any longer. When are people going to stop killing each other?
I agree.
We were all horrified by the attack by those bastards Hamas on Israel. Of course we were. It was horrific, and they've still got hostages. But that doesn't justify the wholesale slaughter. And let's call it what it is. A genocide of Gaza. Yes, get Hamas. Get them, string them up, drag them through the streets. But dear God, don't do this. Stop, please. You can't even say that now without somebody saying you're anti-Semitic and you want Hamas to destroy Israel. I don't have a problem with Jews. I don't have a problem with Muslims, with Hindus, with Sikhs, with Buddhists. I don't care what religion you are. What I care about is what one government is doing to the people of another country. No matter what the religion involved. And this is wrong. This is wrong. At the end of World War II, the world said, no more. Never again. And since then, there's been nothing but genocides. You only have to look at Rwanda, or possibly the former Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia. They don't get stopped because there's nothing in it for the bigger powers to take away from it. That's the Palestinians in this particular instance aren't worth anything. Everyone is utterly terrified of being called an anti-Semitic. But you can be against what's happening in Gaza without hating Jewish people. There were 500,000 people on a march up into London yesterday. A lot of them were Jews marching for Palestine. And yet somehow people are saying they want us all wiped out, they want Israel wiped out. That's not what they're saying at all. And yes, like I say, string Hamas up. String up all terrorists, quite frankly. It's wrong. I say string them up. I'm not one for actual capital punishment. I would rather they got taken through our system of law, and we prove that our way works, rather than eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and everybody is blind and they can't eat a fucking crunchy biscuit. So those are my views. It has to stop. So yeah, Whew. Finally got that off my chest.
Do you
Sorry
feel
about
better?
that, guys. I hope you don't. I hope that doesn't get into any trouble. But like I say, that
I'm quite clear that my views are that fighting like this, sooner or later you have to sit down and talk. Could we skip the killing all the people that don't have anything to do with the problem
I know.
just sit down and talk and figure it out? Everybody wants, you want to share the land? Share the land. You don't want to
That's
share the
just it.
land?
Some
Then
people
figure it out.
don't. And they're the extremists on both sides are the ones that are causing the trouble. And it's the same wherever you go in the world. Extremists.
But sooner or
Either
later
way-
you have to
either
sit
way.
down and talk.
The
And
Zygon
have
invasion speech.
Yes, exactly. And horrific things have happened. And horrific things have happened to both groups.
Yes.
And I'm not both sizing it because, it doesn't, honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who started it. They both have the choice to end it.
I think I can actually turn around and tell you. It was the British.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No,
this is
it
where
doesn't.
we are.
But if it stops them blaming each other, it was us. Hello. We're the ones who carved up the Middle East in the first place.
Maybe it's the teacher in me. I don't really care why you're mad at each other. I care at getting to a solution. Rosie cares about eating food. I care about getting to a solution that gets everybody safely home so they can all have their dinner. That's what I care about.
Quite right too.
We don't
I
put our
badly
hands, we
want-
keep our hands, feet, and objects to ourselves.
I badly want Jess to be sat just out of shot. And I just send her a quick message and she just brings in a stick to poke him. You'll go. You'll go. I have to try and arrange that at some stage. So anyway, sorry about that, but it had to be said.
It's just that right now, I don't think there's going to be anyone left to do the talking.
It could
I think this is going to be used as a excuse, reason, whatever,
this is not.
to take over Gaza.
Oh yeah, no.
Bulldoze it. They're going to bulldoze it into the ground.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to take Gaza and make it part of Israel.
Yeah.
That's not the Jews per se as whole as a population. It is the
That's
Zionists.
the politicians.
And you got to remember, Netanyahu is in quite a bit of trouble at home. His legal reforms, but to cover his own skin, are incredibly unpopular. There are protests all over the place in Israel. And then he's in a lot of trouble for allowing the Hamas attack to happen. Egypt turned around
I
and
think
said...
that was a part of his strategy.
Egypt turned around and said they'd warned Israel about 3 days beforehand that this was going to happen.
Have an atrocity. An atrocity is an excuse
But let us not
in
go
justification.
into conspiracy corner. All right, we'll probably never know the full facts, but the ones we do know are horrible. Anyway, I haven't had a good week.
You've had a rough old time, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I will finish all this off with a laugh. I've been getting chest pains for about a year now. And this week, sorry, towards the end of last week, they were getting worse. And Monday, I was scared enough to go down to our accident and emergency department. They did an ECG. Didn't take very long. And it was fine, absolutely clear. My blood pressure is very slightly high, but that's it. Okay, so phoned the GP the following day. made an appointment for the day after to go and see him, and I like that GP. He's I think it's Dr. Gupta's name, and he's lovely. You know, it's not 5 minutes, get out. You actually get to talk. He doesn't think it's cardiac.
Didn't you have that removed a long time ago?
Well, my cardiac.
Your heart, yeah.
You have to be born with one to have it.
I know, I did.
Ah, so much explained right there.
It certainly helped.
Regrets for what he puts us through in the role playing. Anyway, and so he's sending me to a chest pain clinic. Hopefully they'll do an X-ray. I think a lot of this is anxiety.
It can be.
It's an unconscious, subconscious anxiety, because I'm not actually aware of being anxious, which is weird. But my chest just tights. So who knows? So there's that. Thursday I went to the stop smoking nurse. I decided it might be an idea to stop smoking on top of this.
Good for you.
Not doing too badly. I'm still having the odd painkiller. But painkiller. Oh yes, he's given me more pills, the GP. I got blood pressure pills, stronger painkillers for the arthritic pain. I'm now on Tramadol. Don't know if you've heard of it or not.
Yes.
But I'm not taking them unless I need to take them. Because, hello? Retta's in chat, everyone.
Hello.
Retta, did you say we're echoing? I'll carry on talking so she can tell us. Yes, so stop smoking nurse. Now you blow into a thing, and that's its technical description. Oh, thank you, Retta. How meaty is Brent this evening? Oh, echocardiogram. Thank you. Yeah, ECG. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. I can say it if I want to. Echocardiogram. There we go.
Spell it.
IT. So, yeah. So I blew into this thing. It tells you how your CO2 levels are. Because obviously, if you smoke, they're going to be less. There's going to be less oxygen, etc., etc. Mine are that of a non-smoker.
Excellent. I told you replacing them would help.
I'm a bit puzzled because they shouldn't be. But there we go.
Well, do you know what they were before? Because maybe your normal was just better anyway. So even if you're a bit, you know what I mean? Even if you're impaired, you might still fall in the normal.
I hadn't given up by then. That's just it. So that was my normal reading.
No, I mean your normal before you started smoking at all.
Oh, so I'm just reading chat. I know when I first gave up, my levels were a bit high, and they went down over the weeks. Then obviously I'd given up for about 10 years, decided to start again because I wanted to lose weight for surgery. And it worked. I lost about a stone. And like I say, I suddenly discovered the joys of medicine. And I'm very grateful for them. And so this time round, I mean, I've been smoking again for a few years now. And that's the normal level. So, for me, that is. So, we'll see how it goes on Thursday. See what comes out on Thursday. Could just be that something was stuck.
It could be. But that's so far so good.
Hello, Oscar. This is Oscar Puffin. Oscar Grone Corbier Claude Puffin. That's his name. Oscar Grone.
Name.
Do you want to give him a wink? Do you want to give him a wink, Oscar? You don't. You'd rather do a tail flip. Yeah, let's do a tail flip. There we go. Oscar Puffin was the children's mascot for Channel Television. which was the television service serving the Channel Islands, where I'm from. He occasionally swapped with Gus Honeybun for Southern television, but during the kids' TV period, he'd be there, glove puppet, and they'd read out birthday cards and whatever, and kids would send him cardboard fishes. And it was cute. It became quite an institution. I remember having an Oscar Puffin book when I was really little. Why am I holding up Oscar Puffin? Sorry, Oscar Groenegg Corbier Claude Puffin. I picked my cousin up from the airport yesterday. And I drove her up to Borough in London. And it was lovely. It really was lovely. I'm so happy to be back in touch with that side of the family. Yeah. I'm not going to go into it here, but it was quite lovely. I got to meet her husband and her kids, the youngest of whom just graduated with a first degree PhD in civil engineering.
Wow.
Civil engineering?
Well
yeah.
done.
I just told her, I said to her, you've got to be going around the world with that. And it's lovely. I've got Christ knows how many photos to go through. I didn't used to have a past. I've got a past now. It's lovely. I've got a family. You know, me and my sister are talking. I'm able to talk to the cousins, even though my sister and the cousin... Well, the cousins are up for it, but my sister doesn't want to talk to them. Did find out something a little bit that annoyed me yesterday about my stepbrother. My mother died 2.5 years ago, nearly now. And then my stepfather died last year. I think it was last year. Could have been this year. Christ, I don't know. Anyway, the funeral directors got in touch with my side of the Amy side of the family. And my stepbrother had been in. He'd collected his father's ashes. My mother's had been left there for 2.5 years.
Oh, dear.
I'm not impressed. I got to think about doing the right thing. No, I didn't talk to my mother or anything else like that. And I had no input on the funeral. In fact, I didn't find out about the funeral or whatever until it was over. So I couldn't even send flowers. But I wish I'd known about that. You know, something to grit the path with. So what we're going to do next year when I go over to scatter my father's ashes, probably on a different day. Oh, well done, Brian. You can see out of that thing. Hopefully on a different day, the other part of the family will be scattering my mother's ashes somewhere else. So,
Don't worry, the doctor has performed triage.
Very nicely. Excellent needlework, I thought. Yeah. So it was a lovely time, except finding out about that. But that's not my cousin's fault at all. Anything but. As soon as they found out, they wanted to do stuff. You know, it's a case of, but they had to check with me first. No point checking with Nina. So I said, no, whatever you fancy doing, we'll do. I'm not a fussy one for things like this. I will plan my own funeral. Oh, God, yes. I have thoughts on that.
As long as Portsmouth Symphonia is available.
Brian, that's in. It's been super glued in. Yeah,
Okay.
That's not... Sorry, you know when you say goodbye and you all walk past at the end. Sorry, Lola. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we stumbled into this.
That's okay.
And they play a solemn piece of music or someone's favourite. I'm going to have the Portsmouth Symphonia doing Also Sprach Zarathustra. It's the most god-awful piece of music you've ever heard, if you can call it that. But I think it sums me up brilliantly.
Picture 2001: A Space Odyssey theme music played on a kazoo.
Played by people who don't know how to play their instruments. Yes, it's that good, and Brian will find you a link sometime this evening. You need to hear it. Eddie,
I'm sure I don't.
Eddie.
Play it for the teens in your class.
Oh, no. I do try not to torture them any more than absolutely necessary.
Uh-huh.
And they make you crack up laughing with their quite honest and respectable things about Beowulf.
They
Now we're
do.
going to
They
do
do.
some silent reading time. Press play and go.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
So, on the way back, it was a bit of a tricky journey. I had to go through London, the inner suburbs, and then and Google decided to screw up and whatever. I called Adam saying, I'm going round in Brixton. He's saying, what are you doing in Brixton? Don't know.
Centaurans. It's a Centauran trap.
That would explain a great deal. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I did wonder where
You're lucky you didn't end up in a canal.
I just want to know where those acid grenades come from. There we go. So then the heavens decided, look, we've got about 5 reservoirs full of water up here, and quite frankly, we're just going to let it all go at once. I am in my car. My wipers are going like this, trying to keep the windscreen clean, and I'm thinking electric car and water. But
What
it's not,
could go wrong?
everything's sealed. It's fine.
Yeah, it's seawater. That's the problem.
Yes, because the salt's the connectivity. You won't work out how I found that out. I was watching a documentary last night about how they discovered the magnetic mine in World War II and how they diffused it and explained it. And it was an old 1970s documentary, and as such, it was actually in depth, and it was really fascinating. Old presenter called William Woolard. I remember him from Tomorrow's World. Anyway, like I say, the heavens were just blatting down. Finally got on to the M23, which is the home stretch, and the rain eased off, and I thought, right, I want a little bit of fresh air in here, so I'm going to open the window a bit. Did that. Next thing, I can't see out of my windscreen. I'm underwater. The wipers get rid of it. And then this wave comes in through the gap in the window and soaks me. An idiot had driven past quite quickly and hit a large puddle on the fast lane and had just bow waved me completely. How the hell do you get drenched in your own car?
It's a talent.
I thank you, Brian. I have to admit, yeah. Quite frankly, that was I couldn't get angry. I was too busy laughing.
Uh-huh.
So thank you, Retta. She's rolling on loafers.
Rolling on the floor,
No,
laughing my effing A off.
I'm pretty sure she's got those in the wrong order.
Probably.
Okay. Trying to confuse me. It's not difficult to do. So, yeah. I've turned down a Hartnell voice acting gig. I'm also going to be backing out of the Guinness Residence Group because I don't think my health's up to it at the moment. So I'm going to take it, if possible, take it easy. Take it easier until I know what the hell's going on with my diggity girl. But I don't know what it is. But I'm not going anywhere. Like Big Finish, I've recorded 7 years' worth of me to be inserted into the flashing blade. So...
Oh, hello, Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
He's probably not watching. Yeah, they've not been doing too badly as yet. But now Unite have They haven't parted ways with us, but we're now at a distance. They're trying, the whole point was set us up, support us, and then let us fly it out by ourselves. We're at that stage now. Now it's going to be a case of seeing, will Guinness still take us seriously? If not, there are a lot of things that can be done. But I've got to back out. I just can't do this anymore. I will go over to the cafe, have a decaf coffee, get some food, and come home.
You will be a lady of leisure.
Do you mean leisure? Um,
That too.
No, that gives you hives. You're welcome.
Every once in a while, he comes in with a zinger that just floors everyone, and we live for these moments.
Beautiful, quick-witted connection with season 18. I approve.
I know that one's your favorite.
Season 18, damn straight. As a season as a whole. But,
I do have to say, when you were holding up the little puffin,
Yeah.
all I could think is that you're about to say, like, Mr. Fibuli?
that was a penguin, Mr. Fibuli. Sorry, I'm thinking of Mr.
Yeah.
Flibble.
No,
From
like
Red
it's
Dwarf.
a polyphase Avatron.
Polyphase Avatron, yes. Moods of madness, Mr. Fibuli. Yeah, did you want anything sensible out of this show tonight? Sucks to be you, doesn't it?
Look, you got a guy in a bird mask, okay?
I know. We're doing quite well here a little bit. We kept on going for half an hour. Um,
I'm quite comfortable. I might take a nap, and you'll never know.
no, your
is
level of
why-
contribution will be about the same.
This is why I do not allow children to wear sunglasses in my classroom.
Oh, you know what I'd have to do if I knew that? Wear two. So take one off and then...
Oh, you could do the Ken thing of put one on and put the other one on over it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't know the Ken thing, but that's an old joke that's been going in various films over the years. So, yeah.
Yes, but he does it to look cool because he doesn't actually understand anything.
I haven't seen the Barbie movie. I should do at some stage.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's very clever.
I also want to see Oppenheimer. I want to see what they've done with that story.
I want to see
I
Blue
worry
Beetle.
about Hollywood's influence. I want to see just how un-Hollywood it can be. Does that make sense? Sorry,
It's
I'm
not a
looking at
film
Lulu
I've
the
got
whole time
interest
because
in. So.
I'm getting absolutely no facial reactions from that one down there.
Hey, this beak is very reactive.
Really? I wonder why it glowed. Stay there, Oscar. So, right, I've had a rant. Actually, it wasn't a rant. It was a bloody plea for sanity. We've discussed news. News. Not finally, but I am going to make a joke in very, very bad taste. I'm just letting you know now.
So am I.
Okay. We lost Matthew Perry. Could he
People have
be any
unfriended
deader?
him.
What?
People have unfriended him.
I prefer mine. Could he be any deader?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did say it was in bad taste.
He would have loved it.
Probably, yeah. He was great as Chandler, but he also did an awful lot. Because of his own demons, he did an awful lot to help other people with theirs. Yeah, sad one, that one, quite frankly.
We've also lost Richard Mall.
Who's that, please?
Bull from Night Court.
Never saw it, sorry.
Two-Face from Batman the Animated Series.
Nope.
Multiple genre movies.
That narrows that down. You know,
The
I
tall
can
guy from
see
Night
the
Court.
disapproving look, even though he's wearing a mask.
You have disappointed Bird.
I'm not angry. I'm just very disappointed.
Oscar isn't. Wag his tail to you again. Wee, 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 wee.
Oscar's a puffin.
Yeah, man. course, he's a puffin. He's the puffin. Grew up with Oscar Puffin. I've worked with Oscar Puffin. I once auditioned to be... I can't remember the word of the job description.
Yes,
Continuity.
Oscar Puffin.
The continuity announcements for channel television. This is when I was young. And part of the... I'm so uncultured. You're quite right, I am. Part of the audition was to work with the glove puppet. And the cameraman locks the camera off, gets down under the desk. Dave, you'd have loved that. And then he manipulates the puff, and this is going so wrong. And I had to work with the bird and improvise. Nowadays, wouldn't have a problem at all. But back then, nah. I didn't get the job. Big surprise there. But, yeah. Good old Oscar Puffin. It's funny, I can't believe how delighted I am with that toy. Isn't that strange? Oscar,
Well,
pinch your
it's
cheek.
nice to just have little happy things.
You've got a zit on either side. I wonder if that meant to be your nose? It might be. Sorry. Right, okay. Let's do this. And now... No, hang on a second. No, sorry, Brian. November the 1st is coming up.
Just went yoink.
I'm fine with this. November 5th is coming up as well.
Yeah, I'm not fine with that. My poor dog's going to be terrified. I wish they either sell silent fireworks, which are a thing, or just ban the sale of fireworks to the public. They won't do because just because of something as a tradition doesn't make that tradition correct. Make it right, you know? Where do we get off as humans, terrifying animals, as a side process of our feeble enjoyment? So, yeah, anyway. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, November the 1st is coming up. Auntie's happy. The entirety of Doctor Who, except, of course, An Unearthly Child, will be on the iPlayer. Take your time going through it, because I suspect there are going to be all sorts of hidden gems in there. It's not just all the Doctor Who stories that exist. There's going to be lots of other stuff. For example, Who's Doctor Who documentary that aired the night after Talon's Weng Chiang finished. It was in 1977, hosted by Melvyn Bragg. That's a fascinating curio of how Doctor Who was viewed during the mid-70s. It's also where we get some of the lost clips from. Go figure. There'll be all sorts of other things. They're putting all the confidentials on. And I hope it's the long versions, because I've been desperate to get hold of, I think it was either Silence in the Library or it was Forest of the Dead. Or it could have been Blink even. But it had Moffat, Tennant and Davies just talking. And they're reminiscing and they're fanboying out. And it was wonderful to watch these guys do that.
Then 3 of them lose a pub quiz.
Tennant wasn't in that. It was
Tennant, Moffat, Gatiss.
No, it wasn't Tennant. It was Capaldi.
No, the 3 of was it RTD, Moffat, and Gatiss then? They lost a quiz. I remember that.
There's a photo of Gatiss, Moffat, and Capaldi all going, oh God, because they came third in the quiz.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You could just imagine all the other contestants saying, we've got to beat them. It would be... Yeah. And thus begins a month, more indeed, up to Christmas, of Doctor Who goodness. There's going to be stuff flying around all over the place. How the hell we're supposed to keep track of it? Wonder whatever
Well,
happened to
thankfully, it starts here Thanksgiving weekend,
That's
November
what-
25th.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Whilst we're here and we're talking and we're doing this, let's just do this because, of course, we're now on a fortnightly schedule.
Oh, yes.
So, what I want to do...
No, we have a
with.
show that weekend. The 26th.
26. Okay, now I'm counting things, so it's going to have to be on the 12th of November. How many fortnights away is that? One fortnight, so that'll be our next show. The Big Finish we'll be listening to, and Brian, you're invited to listen to this. It's a short one, possibly not even an hour, I don't think. Called The Ratings War, with the Sixth Doctor, Colin Baker, up against the Meep. Because the Meep, if you remember, has a long and noble history in Doctor Who, starting out in the Doctor Who and the Star Beast comic strip, way back in Doctor Who Weekly, and then it kept popping up here and there, and even Big Finish got in the act with it. It's worth listening to the Meep song, just to the lyrics. Yeah, fun. So, yeah, that's what we'll be doing in 2 weeks' time, the Ratings War. Big Finish are offering it for free, and I saw it and thought, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You know? That's great.
And I don't think I've watched anything or heard anything with the Meep in it, so I'm aware of the name.
Well, it's all expanded
is-
universe stuff. It's never been on the TV. But RTD is not afraid to actually go to some of the other stuff and say, that's good, I want to use that. Dalek, for example, was Jubilee. Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, that was Spare Parts. Not that you'd recognise it. Again, World Enough and
Human
Time.
Nature, Family of Blood.
Yeah, World Enough and Time and The Doctor Falls. That, again, is a Spare Parts thing. He's not afraid to do that. If he sees something good, he'll use it. And it just makes continuity get really confusing. Anyway, we're talking about Doctor Who, so shall we do it then?
Go on.
All right. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Blake 7, it's... For those interested, those noises were Brian.
Brian coming back to humanity. Holy
Oh.
shit.
Brush the beard there. It's gone a little bit Professor Kettlewell.
Yeah, it's gonna stay that way for a little while.
Brian, she's getting her notes.
I know, we're screwed.
Jesus. Hey, she's back
But now
again.
this means I can put my headphones in.
Huh?
Eh? What
What?
you say, Sonny?
Ah, gee there, boy, what you doing? That's my American.
Oh, dear.
Hey, I'm walking here.
That one's not bad.
I think, haven't we ever, passed a resolution not to have you do that ever again?
Yes, you passed a resolution. And you were unanimous in it. I'll give you that.
I'm just saying, if you have oil, we'd be in Freedom Town right now.
We need another presenter. We can't play kitchen gun with just two people. Wouldn't be right. Okay, so I'm on the lookout for another presenter. Preferably British. Mind you, on the lookout for... Can I say? Well, nobody watches the show, so I may as well bloody say it. We're on the lookout for 1 or 2 more people in the RPG. Preferably British. Though that's not necessarily...
No, something else just popped up. Rather funny.
Did it? Is
Somebody's
that what the girls say to you when it does that?
Hey, they just come and sit on my lap and we see what pops up.
And then they laugh.
Okay. At this point, I'm just happy to be included. No, somebody is playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Someone we know?
Uh-huh.
What went wrong?
Nothing. Somebody's just started.
Okay.
Steam just came up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, damn, this thing does do a number on the beard, doesn't it?
It does a little, love. You need
does,
beard
yeah.
blaze.
I
You
need
hear
a
that, Whistler?
beard
I
comb.
shilled for you. Send us money.
I need a beard comb or something.
Beard oil.
No, beard comb.
Okay.
I don't oil my beard. It's just too weird for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make the food you leave in there taste very nice.
And now I can have a drink.
I've got a crayon.
No, see, I have holes in the bottom for air.
Mm-hmm.
If I can make them a little bit larger, I could stick a straw up there.
I think you
Then-
need one of those twisty, like curly Q, really long, makes shapes kind of
Oh,
straws.
yeah. And then go out to the bar. I'll have a beer.
Yes. Yes. For the comedy factor.
We used to have
Yeah.
twirly weird ones. They looked a bit like treble clefs on a musical stave.
Yes. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're hearts. They're
Silly straws
twisty.
is what they
Yeah.
call them over here.
That's it. Silly straws.
I don't know if they had a name. They must have had the name over here. I was too
Probably
young.
silly
I was
straws.
Yeah, I was too young to know, to be honest with you. I just saw these to go, it's funny.
I do, however, love this outfit.
It's very
Vanity,
dignified.
thy name is narcissism.
I'm just saying, the vest with the ascot and everything, I could wear this thing, to the office
I do admit,
if I ever went in
and
again.
this is probably because I've been brainwashed by Doctor Who, I do sometimes think older men's fashion is a hell of a lot nicer than modern stuff.
Oh, that's because the coats are all cut too small and the trousers are all too tight, and
Well, that's because they were all starving. They could lose weight.
it's just lean into it. Like, just
I always
Oh, yeah.
said if I could get a Sixth Doctor costume and walk around town, I would.
Do it.
Shits and giggles, I can't afford a Sixth Doctor costume. Well, not at the moment.
Like it's that expensive. Not yet, at any rate.
It might be a bit
I
easier.
could see you with the Sylvester fur coat, though.
Sylvester or Troughton?
I would go Sylvester.
It's the same fur. It's meant to be the same fur coat.
Yeah, there's differences.
I mean, Sylvester has a lovely brown duffel coat.
You and Dominic could do a costume off then.
He'd win, hands down.
Yeah.
Apart from the season 18 scarf.
Got the experience.
Thank you, Sheila.
Yeah, I have mine over there still.
It's not a season 18 scarf. You don't
I
have
don't
a team
care,
of
it's off.
trained chimpanzees with instructions from IKEA on how to deploy it. That thing is interesting.
No, I just have drop bears from Australia.
They're the best,
They are.
quite frankly.
They really are. It's nice and stealthy.
Yeah, man.
I love them.
It's good stuff. Anyway, a fourth Doctor Who, well, rather the fourth Doctor Who. Yeah, I know, we're actually talking about Doctor Who. Amazing, isn't it? The fourth Doctor Who, because there is only one. And his plucky girl assistant, Leela of the Sever Team, materialise, well, the TARDIS does the materialising bit, let's be honest here, on some
They're
rocks.
just riding along.
Yeah, on some rocks. It's very foggy, and there's a lighthouse. Don't rush, don't rush. What story are we looking at tonight? Anyone?
Nobody's in chat.
Is Retta still in chat? No, she's
No.
playing Baldur's Gate, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't even
I told you.
Baldur's Gate. Don't blame her, quite frankly.
It's a good game. It's an amazing game.
It is. It's the horror of Fang Rock. I promised Brian.
It's one of the few we've never done.
Well, I know, and you,
2019, we have never covered this.
you had brought that up, and I did promise that we would do it. You know, we were going to keep it, but we'd do it for Halloween. And this is how this is our Halloween episode. So we're doing
Hence the
horror of Fang
mask
Rock.
and the outfit. And
Oh, that was the reason.
well, true. I don't need a reason to do it, but it's a reason to do it.
There's a reason to do it publicly.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Fair enough. So, where to begin? I'm going to tell
How
you the
about the beginning?
stories. I'm going to tell you some of the problems the story had, because it might give you a little bit of extra. You may have heard this before, but it might give you a little bit of extra context to it. The Horror of Fang Rock was originally going to be a story called The Vampire Mutations. And I've got Terrence Dix's written permission to call a Buccaneer Chronicles tale The Vampire Mutations. So hands off, anyone. And the thing was, at the same time, the BBC were planning a big budget adaptation of Dracula.
And then they did the Mark Gatiss version.
Still hasn't got over that, you know.
No, I haven't.
The
Beautiful up until the last episode. Beautiful. And then what the fuck?
Anyway, lemon flavoured, in case you're wondering. 0 nicotine. Trying to be good.
Grape flavor, all alcohol.
Fair. So, Robert Holmes, who was script editor, turned around to Terence and says, "We're not allowed to do this. Can you come up with something else quickly? I really fancy a story about a lighthouse. But I don't know anything about lighthouses, you see," said Terence. And Bob Holmes turned around, and I'm telling the tale as Terence would tell it, except less you knows and you sees. Handed him, to say, go get the junior boys' book of lighthouses and find out. So
Is this like Boys Life magazine for the scouts?
yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, we used to have
Yeah.
the British Boys' Book of something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girls'
we had
Book of
Boys Life in
lace
the 80s.
embroidery, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So Terence, under a little bit of pressure, wrote this, Horror of Fang Rock. But the problems didn't stop there. There was strike action at the BBC Television Centre, where Doctor Who normally gets filmed. It's an ongoing problem throughout the classic era. This time round, they managed to remount the production, but at the BBC's Pebble Mill studios in Birmingham. These guys had never been given a chance to show what they could really do, and my God, were they determined to show it.
I don't blame them.
As a result, the Horror of Fang Rock looks superb.
It's one of the best.
Yeah. And
We've waited
tiny
6
little sets,
There's
like
more.
properly claustrophobic sets.
and we waited 4 years to review it.
Good. Hopefully that made it all the sweeter. The problems didn't end there. Tom Baker was not being very nice to Louise Jameson. He disapproved of the character of Leela. And you can tell in this particular story he's not happy. He's been taken away from his drinking dens in Soho, and he's been forced to go up to Birmingham. He ain't a happy chappy. The director, Paddy Russell, had directed him before, and for Pyramids of Mars, and he'd changed. He'd become a bit of an ego. So as a result, the performances between Louise and Tom, and especially Tom, have a certain grimness to them, which just aid the atmosphere even more. It's a typical Doctor Who thing of everything goes to pot, yet something brilliant comes out of it. I was hoping you'd say something because I needed my meter to move.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
right.
How
That's
about
good.
that?
Yeah, that's
We're
fine.
doing good? Okay.
Yeah, man. Get scared like that.
Wait until we just all, both Little Bit and I just freeze
Yeah, that's going to happen.
and
at
make
some
you
stage.
think your internet has gone out again.
I have to admit, I wonder what it's going to be like up in Derby.
Maybe you'll get, something good, like some good fiber or something.
I'm regular.
You don't have to be on Virgin.
No, well, I don't know what internet service you can get wherever I'm going to move because I don't know where I'm moving to yet. I did whilst I was in hospital to kill the time. They're very quick, but the expected time was a 4-hour wait, and I was in within about 40 minutes to have the ECG done. Then I had to wait another hour and a bit to see the doctor.
Yes, but you say the words chest pain,
Everyone's been
And you get results.
and they move you forward in the queue.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Thank you.
We've
That's
we've
to
been
them.
there.
We love the NHS. So I was looking at houses and gave me a lot of time to go through stuff. What's really annoyed me is I sent emails to a couple of estate agents to sort of say, right, this is the situation. That's what's going to be happening. I'd like to start opening a dialogue with you. Start looking around, seeing what options are. All I'm getting are computer emails sent back to me. Would you want
That's
us
all
to
they do
value
these
your
days.
house? Do you want a mortgage? No, I don't need either of those, thank you. Read the message. Heaven's sakes. Anyway, there's 3 keepers on the lighthouse. You've got the head keeper, whose name is Ben. And then you've got the middle keeper, who's obviously an old mate of Ben's. He's called Reuben. And then you got the young lad, Vince Hawkins.
Vince isn't that bright, have you noticed? But he's eternally optimistic.
And on top of that, he's got a good heart.
Yeah, and although almost tempted, really does know what he has a good conscience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he did actually take the money. The reason he burns it is he's afraid he's going to be accused of killing Palmersdale and stealing the money.
Yeah, but he also knew he shouldn't have.
Yeah. No,
And to be fair, what, 50 quid?
it's a lot
Back
of money
then?
back then. Yeah, well, it was 100. It was going to be 100, wasn't it?
It was going to be 100.
Yeah, Terence makes a thing about that in the book to explain the importance of it. Because remember, target books, mainly for a young audience. Okay, who wants to go third? Brian, go on.
Oh, okay.
You've been waiting 4 years, apparently.
Yeah.
I've lost my slipper.
I mean, this is one, we rehash other episodes. This is the first time doing this one.
Stop whinging, you're doing it.
I am doing it. I do
kiss
see
girl of
what
hair just like that.
I know. I love that. Oh, hey, it finally went down. I do see what you mean earlier. At the very beginning, you can tell Tom isn't happy when he's talking to Leela, calls her savage and all that
that's
other
scripted
stuff.
to be
No,
fair.
that's scripted, but there's a tone to it.
yes. That I'll agree with.
Yeah. And the interaction with the two of them, it feels forced. Feels terse, feels forced. Tom isn't his usual happy fourth Doctor self.
We sewed it up. See, this was where the fall started for Tom.
Yeah. However, the setting of the lighthouse, fantastic.
Superb, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's a location that can be instantly isolated, which they demonstrate that. Fog. Fog's all you need.
I know. I come
Fog.
from a little island. Trust me, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah. I loved the miniature work when the
Yes.
boat crashes into the shore.
Yes.
And the two red lights and then the lighthouse light. It's beautifully done.
Oh yeah,
Agreed.
it's
Totally.
terrific. The period life jackets.
Did you like where they filmed it on location? Did you recognize the location?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's because it was in studio.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's worth a try. I was hoping it had fooled you, quite frankly, because it is
No,
good. It's very,
no,
very
no.
good.
Well, it's good because they spend a very limited amount of time outside.
yes,
And it's piles of rocks and it's fog
and it's
and
dark.
and it's dark.
I was thinking,
And so you go, oh, okay, this feels good. And the water, like the shots of little pools is very good.
there's a
And
wonderful-
the atmosphere itself feels enclosing,
yes, it does.
claustrophobic, and you can feel that in the fog. I just for fun, I go out and walk in the fog sometimes.
I'm
It's
with
great.
you on that. It's great.
And yeah, once in a while,
Mysterious.
just for the hell of it.
Get arrested. There's a wonderful. So
You
there
know
was
what?
A scene in episode 1 where Leela's checking out what's going on out here, and we see the dead fish and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I suddenly thought to myself, she's hunting her prey. How difficult must it have been to be the great huntress on a tiny little set? There's only certain
Not only
options
that,
you
but
can
on
have.
a rock. Do you know how hard it is to track anything on regular ground? Now you're on nothing but a frickin' rock.
This is Leela of the Sever team, a space.
Oh, she's skilled.
Thing.
She's got skills. She's got skills.
She's multiplying.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Are you losing control yet? Because the power the generator's supplying,
Well done.
It's
it's
electrifying.
electrifying.
Yes.
All right.
Fair dues. Fair dues, Brian. Nicely done.
No problem.
See, the trouble is we can see his face now.
You
smugness.
know.
Well, I think that, Terrence Dix honestly is like at his best when backed into a corner when writing.
Oh, God, yes.
And so here we get essentially a murder mystery.
Yes.
And they call it the horror Fang Rock. It is a horror murder mystery.
Mhm.
So sorry, but we've
With-
got an almost full moon out there, and it's shining on the clouds, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a hunter's moon.
No, it's not. It's mine.
No,
It's an egg.
it's an egg.
It's an egg.
If anything, it's Koenig's.
Sorry, a little bit. It's a moon in the sky.
The age is strong today.
The moon in the sky.
It's a full moon. What do you think?
Yeah, tomorrow and Tuesday are gonna be real fun at school.
Oh,
Full
just
moon and
write it
Halloween?
off. Just write it off. Just say, hey guys, just read the chapter. I don't care. Just be careful.
No. We got work to do. Because I'm out Thursday, Friday, and I'm leaving them with a sub, and they're gonna do nothing because I'm gonna assign them work, and they're gonna lie to me and say they're gonna do the work, and we both know that they're not going to do that.
November 5th is coming up. Make them read V for Vendetta because it is a graphic
No.
novel.
I
I
I'm
very
aware of
much
that.
doubt the Florida authorities would allow
I
that.
like my job.
Yeah.
That surprised the hell out of me because when my son was in high school, I went to the library and I actually saw graphic novels there.
Oh yeah, we've got a
Collected
huge
works.
selection of graphic novels.
And I'm like, oh my God. I would be here all the time.
Yeah.
I would have read through the entire section in like freshman year and then got back sophomore year.
Yeah. Yep.
The only one I was interested in our school library was the one Doctor Who target book, Doctor Who in the Space War. I'm sure it was that.
Yeah, but they had like The Dark Knight Returns.
Wouldn't see that now. I
That's
doubt
the
you see that
Superman?
now on shelves?
If it's already in our library and it's been approved by librarians, the odds are it's still there. Depending on the district and the complexity and the this, that, and the other thing. What I'm having my kids start, they're finishing up Beowulf, most of the classes. But I'm having them vote
Yep.
on whether they want to read Much Ado About Nothing
Yep.
or Macbeth. And
Well, if you have them read Much Ado About Nothing, you can also show the Joss Whedon version.
I can, and the Joss Whedon version is excellent. I usually show them the Tennant Tate version.
Ooh, that'd be better.
Thought that was a Taming
And-
of the Shrew.
I hate Taming of the Shrew.
All right, moving on.
Didn't they have Raul Julia and
I like Kiss Me Kate, but I hate Taming of the Shrew.
Angelica Houston.
no, not Angelica Houston.
See, I know an American actress.
They were in Taming of the Shrew. It's a big YouTube clip. I forgot.
The version
Meryl
of
Streep. There we go.
Yes, the version of Macbeth that I looked at and will show them is the Denzel Washington one from last year that's on Apple.
Oh,
It is-
yeah.
So good.
Dude, yeah. Yeah,
You're
that blows the hell
going
out
to
of the Mel
show
Gibson
them an
one.
American Shakespeare.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you
Now,
seen
I
it?
also show them, if it makes you feel any better, it probably won't, the Shakespeare Revisited version where he's a chef in a restaurant.
Okay.
And that one stars, it's set in Ireland. So, but that one has British actors in it. And it's a really good version. It's just a revisited version.
Now, do you show them Romeo and Juliet, the Claire Danes?
I don't do Romeo
Leonardo
and Juliet because
DiCaprio?
they do that in 9th grade.
Okay.
Yes, I used to do that part, but I had an edited version of that one on VHS that somebody else had edited for me and edited out the nudity.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering about. They did when I was in 9th grade watching it, they didn't edit it out.
You
And all the guys in the class were like, "There's a boob."
You blocks, you stones, you worse and senseless things, oh you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Need
No,
not
we were
Pompey-
14-year-old boys.
Sorry, it's the only lines of Julius Caesar I can remember. Same as I can remember the first 2 lines of Chaucer's Pardoner's Tale. But that's it.
I often wonder if they point out to 9th graders, "Hey guys, they're supposed to be your age."
We do actually. Yes.
Okay,
I did
good.
used to teach 9th grade.
Okay.
And I also point out, because I had it pointed out to me when I was in 9th grade reading it, all the dirty jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taught I was taught Shakespeare in 9th grade. One of our retired teachers came back in, and he was a brother Chuck, who came back in and just taught us and you have not been taught the dirty jokes in Shakespeare until you've been taught them by like an 85-year-old Catholic brother.
They
know all the dirty jokes.
We
Yeah.
They cut out because the end of the Pardoner's Tale is a bit risky. Risque, should I say. And so they cut that bit from the exam.
The Pardoner's Tale?
Yeah, man.
No, the Pardoner's Tale, they all die.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
For Canterbury Tales,
Yes.
they don't all die.
Why are you arguing with the English
I
teacher?
teach the Pardoner's Tale. Are you thinking the
I
Miller's Tale?
did O-level.
Yes.
Pardoner's Tale. Basically, the Pardoner tells everyone a tale about people who were naughty and whatever. And there's a risque bit towards the end. That got cut from the exam.
That's the Miller's Tale.
No, it's the Pardoner's Tale. Because we
No,
did the Pardoner's Tale.
It's
And
very
and
clear
then
that Siobhan has
our
failed her
deputy-
O-level exams.
The deputy head, who was teaching us English that year, basically said, right, well, we've really gone through it all. Now let's do the bit that's not part of the exam, but we may as well because I know he'll enjoy it. And we did that extra bit, which had been cut.
The Partner's Tale?
Partner's Tale.
Tell me what
It's
you
the
think
only
happened.
Chaucer I know.
The Partner's Tale, 3 guys go to kill Death,
No, I don't think so.
and they find gold under the tree, and then they kill each other? That's the Partner's Tale.
And Siobhan realizes she may have just failed her O-level exam.
Actually, I did. I got a D instead.
I think we now know why.
However, on English language,
Are
I
you
got
thinking
an
the
A.
one where he sticks his bottom out the window and then they kiss it? Because that's the Miller's Tale.
I'm loving this. I don't want the mask on right now. This is great.
I hate you all.
I mean, I know, I'm sorry we got away from an excellent Doctor Who episode to argue.
Oh, this is
medieval-
good. This is fine. We'll get back to it. This is worth it.
Right. Okay. Now, Lilibet's right in it being an exemplary tale warning its audience against greed and sins of the tavern. 3 revellers go in search of Death to defy him. Yet, when they find a stockpile of riches instead of Death at the appointed place, they kill one another and unwittingly find that they were ... But there's a naughty bit at the end. He wouldn't
They're
have lied
dead.
to us. This is our deputy teacher, Sankey Strappus, the giant polo-eating bat.
What naughty bit was it?
I can't fucking remember. This was 1984.
And she
Jesus
obviously
Christ.
failed.
I did. We did Julius Caesar, we did The Partner's Tale, and we did 1984.
With John Hurt?
Eurythmics. No John Hurt at the time. You lot still haven't worked out what I'm doing with the song lyrics at the start of the show. Very disappointed in you.
Still leaning it hard into John Hurt,
Hurt,
1984.
Huh. Yeah.
It's our standard answer here on the Blade for when we don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's only rat and proper. I mean, you know.
It is. I mean,
It's called a survival technique. It's how you cope.
I mean, I'm sorry.
You're going to
I'm so
go and
stuck.
find a copy of The Partner's Tale. It's out of copyright. You can get one
Shit.
anywhere.
I teach it. At the end, the partner then turns to the fellow travelers and offers to sell them pardons.
This isn't right
pay
at
to
the
watch
end.
this.
It's before the end, but fairly far on.
The end of the story, spoilers for 1300 stories, is
Right, we're
They
arguing
draw-
about Chaucer, and you say I'm uncultured.
they draw straws.
Yeah.
The youngest one gets sent to town to buy bread and wine. The other two conspire against him to keep the gold. The youngest one poisons the wine and brings it back. They jump him, stab him, kill him, then drink the wine to celebrate because they're going to get thirsty when they're digging graves.
Well, that's true.
They both die from poisoning. There's a comment about how the death by poisoning is horrific and they got what they deserved. And then the partner says, I use this all the time in churches where I preach. Greed is the root of all evil, except he says it in Latin. And then
Like we didn't
he's
have
like,
enough trouble with the language used.
and then he's like, hey, you guys, I could sell you pardons. And he's like, why would I bother to tell? Like, the end of the story is really easy. You know what happened. Here you go. There isn't a naughty bit in that one. I mean, there's a triple murder.
Willem in Flanders was a company of younger folk that haunted and folly, and I can't remember anymore. It's the opening lines.
That's not the partner's tale. I think we did the Miller's Tale.
We did the Partner's
Miller's
Tale.
Tale. Look, the
Because-
only Chaucer I know is from A Knight's Tale. But
You said a carpenter, right?
No.
No, what did you just say?
Partner's Tale. Willem in Flanders was a company of younger folk that haunted and folly. And that's the start of the Partner's Tale.
Okay, we read a slightly different translation. We have the in the revelers haunting the tavern. Yeah, but I can see where. Yeah.
Is this what it's like in academia?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God, it's very
This is why-
stressful and argumentative.
This is why not many people stay in academia.
Just wish Retta had seen that. Uncultured indeed.
She's playing BG3. She's more than
Who's
happy.
uncultured now?
You, because you failed your O level.
Actually, they changed the system a couple of years later to GCSEs, and the General Certificate of Secondary Education. And I thought there have been complaints that GCSEs, because they were more course-based than exam-based, even though there was an exam at the end, were easier. And so I compared my O-level results to what they would be if I'd done them as GCSEs. And I'm a fucking genius. All my D for literature and art, yeah, that's a B. My E for history, that's a C. The only one which, no, that nothing was saving was maths. I couldn't handle geometry and trigonometry. Sorry, it's just give me good numbers, give me good algebra. I like that. I used to love quadratic
The
equations.
biggest problem with maths is when they started adding the alphabet.
True. Look, it's supposed to be numbers
are
and
easy.
counting.
Numbers are easy. Oh, but now we're going to add in letters.
What is wrong with you? Sorry.
This is why calculus was invented by a virgin.
During a plague.
Yeah, he had nothing else to do.
Oh, fuck. What's going to come out of lockdown? What terrible thing is going to happen?
Well, we got a whole lot of really awful Zoom celebrity
Numbers.
reunions.
Some of them were good. The read-through of one of the Community episodes was excellent. I think it actually had Travis from Critical Role.
I don't know.
And it's given them the
I wasn't
impetus-
watching back then.
Fair enough. Well, neither was I. But I did wonder, who is this guy? I think he plays one of the security guards in Community, campus security. And they did the table read, and they were so busy pissing themselves laughing that they realised they wanted to do more. So there's a chance that they'll get the film, which is brilliant
Okay.
news, because there's always 6 series in a film.
Hey, I'm still waiting for Vox Machina Season 3 and Mighty Nine Season 1
Fair enough.
animated.
Fair enough. I watched. Oh, Loki's quite good. I'm enjoying Loki.
Loki's amazing. I haven't seen last week's yet, but I'm saving that for
Oh,
work.
something happens. It's so sad. And obviously, Lower Decks, which is a lot of fun. You haven't seen that though yet, have you?
I got rid of Paramount Plus.
Fair. You don't get to watch Frasier because the new Frasier's on as well.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I hear it sucks.
No, it doesn't. And my viewpoint counters any other viewpoint on this planet. You
Okay,
should have
I hear
realised
it
that
sucks.
by now.
Hey, David Hyde Price isn't even in it, so forget it.
No, he didn't want to do it. He wanted to do something. He wanted to do something fresh, which you can understand. But Niles and Daphne's son's in it.
Yeah, I heard.
He's
I
not
heard.
so good, to be fair. Freddie's
No.
brilliant. And Frasier, it's interesting to see the character has developed as well. And then you got Nicholas Lyndhurst, who's a plonker, basically being brilliant as Alan, an alcoholic with tenure. Anyway, so Horror of Fang Rock. Carry on, Brian.
Horror of Fang Rock, where
Thanks,
you have
Buzz.
an electric tadpole terrorizing people trapped on a lighthouse.
Yes, Reuben the Routon.
Yeah. I didn't like the whole shape-changing thing. And why Tom brought up the term lycanthropy just
Yeah, that isn't
really
it, is it?
pissed me off.
That's Tom Bakerism. For a start, he doesn't say chameleon, he says chameleon.
I'm fine with that.
He's playing, he likes to play with words, and that's for the lycanthropy. No, that's extremely unlikely. The other thing is the Schmerly, which isn't quite how it's pronounced. He pronounces it an early Schmerly to rhyme, but it's not, actually.
Yeah, but that I can play, like, that I can be like, oh, it's something the doctor got slightly wrong because it's funny.
Yeah, this is just Tom playing
He
with
was
words.
making a joke.
Yeah, whereas lycanthropy, just that's not what it is at all.
Tom, that's an entirely wrong term for what you're using.
Yeah.
So the question
That
is,
word-
was it Terence
I
Hicks,
do not
Robert
think
Holmes,
that word
or
means
Tom?
what you think that means.
Hello.
I will say this, for all the Routon, the most frightening moments is when Reuben smiles.
Yes.
That man
Everyone
should
says
not
that.
smile.
That's
ever.
nasty. I mean, they had one hell of a cast for this as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm no Toby Haydock, but I recognise some faces. And the fact you think he's playing this gruff old bloke, now then Vince, and then it's a bit like Dr. Judson or Fenrick's smile during episode 4 of The Curse of Fenrick, where he's just smiling, and it's just
and it's creepy as hell.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this was a great episode. You had everything. You had atmosphere. You had danger.
A great story, yes.
A great story.
And you've got all of the other characters. You know, you think, okay, we're in the lighthouse. We have our main characters. We've had a death. So now we know that there's something dangerous here. And he was kind of like the normal, reasonable type guy. So now we have like the old guy and the young guy, the doctor and Leela. And then these other characters show up who are in their own story.
That's what I was.
Yes.
That just came screaming out of me last night. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a normal human being would be doing.
Yes. And they're like, okay, this is, we are stuck on this lighthouse tonight as a deep inconvenience. They all have their own feelings about each other. They all have, and I don't know how much the actors brought to that, but they all, like, there's vibes between lots of the different characters and the way she acts when she learns that her boss...
Adelaide.
Yeah, boss.
She wouldn't get away with slapping her today.
No, but she needed a slap.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and really, Leela enjoyed slapping her. You could see it. She dealt with Tom for that entire episode up to that point and just hauled off and slapped her.
But Adelaide is this character who serves very much a narrative function of asking questions and explaining things and getting isolated and then not wanting to be isolated. So sometimes she's just in the room, so people have to talk cryptically.
It's interesting because these guys are straight out of Upstairs, Downstairs. You recognize them, and people at the time would have recognized those exact character types from Upstairs, Downstairs, and it adds a level of verisimilitude that just again sells it.
Yes, because these characters are not intended to be in a Doctor Who episode. They don't get wrapped up in the plot. They, like, at the very end, he shoots the monster with a gun, but it doesn't matter to him. That's a space monster. It could be a murderer for all he cares. Like, they never get that involved in this is monsters from outer space, or, oh, I believe the Doctor, or clearly this is what's going on. They are intrigue, my own reputation, money, sleazy behavior, like, we sound demanding that people we don't consider as good as us do things for us when they're busy trying to save things.
It's like,
Yeah.
what's your name, boy? What's your name? It's Hawkins, miss. Vince Hawkins. Thank you, Hawkins. It's a case of you're just a bloody secretary. Don't go speaking to him like that.
Yeah, except she doesn't consider herself a secretary, does she?
No, we think...
No.
She considers herself the lady in waiting.
Yes.
She's wed in bed, only unwed.
Oh, yeah. And she's not beyond going behind his back, because the body language between her and the other one,
Oh yeah.
she'll play whichever side she thinks is going to get her where she wants to be.
She deserved that
I
slap.
am feeling a general sense of satisfaction coming out of my monitor.
It was a good episode.
I know.
really
I am not
yeah.
denying this at all. I'm not criticising. Like I said, I watched it last night. I've seen it God knows how many times, and I'm still gripped, noticing new things and how things were done.
Oh yeah.
And the cliffhangers are all different. And sometimes it's the crashing ship. Oh no, we have to, people are in danger. And sometimes it's like a realization. Like when the doctor realizes, oh no, I've locked it in here with us, which is,
Drama button.
yeah. And that's a horror movie concept.
Oh yeah. I've made a horrible mistake. It's in here with us.
Yes.
Like, wait a minute, you're the doctor. You're not supposed to make a mistake.
Yeah. And essentially it's the same plot as The Thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, good old
Yeah.
Terrence.
Oh, that's a movie we should review someday. Or
Happily.
do a live watch along.
Quite happily.
Dave we went and watched that in the theater. And
The Carpenter
Wonderful.
version. Gotta be
I've seen both.
the theater was not great, so the experience was not great. The movie, I think, is extremely well made, and that's why I don't like it.
I can understand that.
Because it's designed to make you
Too
deeply
visceral.
uncomfortable.
Too visceral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the
Carpenter-
chest opens up.
Carpenter was on Colbert this week, and the question was, well, what could stop the aliens? There's nothing. It would wipe out all life on Earth.
Yeah.
So,
Did anyone try giving it chocolate? They never try giving the aliens chocolate.
To be
At the
fair,
Antarctic.
that might be a way to stop a werewolf.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And he was in a dog form.
Yeah.
But they never say, like, hey, clearly you're upset about something and having a bad day and you want to murder everybody. Try some chocolate, see if it helps.
Bob, you're not you when
hurt.
you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
Marathon. I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind doing Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, but MST3K did that. That was the MST3K movie, Forbidden Planet.
I don't give a damn. I want to do the proper movie. Without
Just saying.
silly, snarky nonsense. That's what we're for.
But yeah, we're going to be doing that anyway.
So, I just
All right,
want
fine, we'll do Forbidden
Well,
Planet someday.
I need to get the Blu-ray, actually. I can't believe I haven't
I'm
got
sure
it.
we can download it somewhere
No,
or
don't
stream
play-
it.
Do it like that. No.
Probably on YouTube.
Again, no. I know this Island Earth is.
Yeah, with the head. Oh, that was
The
fantastic.
Metalunan mutant.
Just blink.
Again, are we talking the thing? And They
little
Live
bit
is
of both.
another one. Now, Dave introduced me to They Live.
They Live was fantastic. We're off the topic of Fang Rock, though.
Again,
Again,
I wandered us into territory.
It's okay. It's Carpenter. Carpenter always gets the pass.
I was trying to generally wrap it up by saying I'm getting a great deal of satisfaction coming out of the monitor.
Yes.
Do you have any more points to make? There you go, I'll ask you. Right. So, next
Oh,
time.
yes. Here's a good point. We need to do more Leela episodes.
All right.
I love Leela.
In that case, Image of the Fendal next time.
Again?
Oh, can't please
We
him.
did it this year.
Invasion of Time.
Which one is Invasion of Time?
Stop it, Brian. The last story of season 15. It's got the long, wide scarf. As opposed to the
Yeah,
previous.
that doesn't help me at all.
It's the last one. The Sontarans.
Centaurans.
Vardens. Tom in full-on manic mode. Don't spoil it for Brian.
I think we've already done
Oh,
it.
okay.
Well, of
All
course
right.
we
Yes,
bloody
yes,
have.
yes, 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 yes.
Of course we have. It's very few that we have not done.
Well, you're asking me for more Leela.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's the
We can deal
last
with that.
Leela episode, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, have we done Face of Evil? The first Leela story.
No, I don't not this year. Hey, we've been going since 2019. Okay, there's very few we have never done.
Yeah, we've been going since 2008. Trust me, I've done these over and over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stuck in a chronic hysteresis. Yes, I'm stuck in a chronic hysteresis. Yes, I'm stuck in a chronic hysteresis. You're giving me the look.
Yes.
Okay. I teleported home one night with Ron and Sid and Meg. Ron stole Megan's heart away and I got Sydney's leg.
Oh, yeah, Invasion of Time, final one. Which one were we going for? The first Leela?
Yeah, Face of Evil.
Okay, 14.
In which there's a face.
Of evil.
I was going to say. The cliffhanger to episode 3 is astounding.
You sure you don't want to do Deadly Assassin, then work up to first Leela?
No.
Okay. I'm just asking.
No. We'll do Face of Evil because it's a good one.
Okay.
The first Doctor Who I saw in colour.
Really?
Interesting.
Back in 1977. My dad had got a colour TV. And I was around there, I think, for that year's New Year's Day. And Face of Evil was on. I got to see Doctor in colour. Then went back home and the following weeks watched it in black and white.
Okay.
Okay, so Face of Evil. We've got no big finish today. Because I completely lost track of where the hell we were with that. I'm going to
That's going to end up being very difficult to remember going bi-weekly.
What, the Face of Evil?
No, Big Finish.
Well, it gives me a greater choice. I'll have 2 sets of releases to look through to decide which one we're going to do rather than one, which is why sometimes, some weeks, we don't do any because I've looked at it and thought, no, we won't do that. Censorship.
We still have to do Passengers.
What?
Big Finish, Sapphire and Steel.
I mean, I know they did Sapphire and Steel. I don't think I've even got it.
Yeah, you sent it to me. I've got it, and there's only one way I could get it. It's through you.
Well, I never.
That's what the wall said.
Sorry.
No. Here.
I was being Charlie Brown's teacher. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's right. The Great Pumpkin is coming.
He is. So
on
and
Tuesday.
so. So is David S. Pumpkins. And his skeletons, who are part of it.
I'm
Any
more
questions?
into the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm with you on the
I know who David S. Pumpkins is. You inflicted that upon me.
It was wonderful. I love David. Have you ever heard of David S. Pumpkins?
No.
Run.
I will link you to the original SNL sketch.
Run.
And then
Run.
it's got Tom Hanks in it.
Okay.
Run. Tom Hanks being as plastic as I sound when I do my cheesy intro.
Any questions? What am I looking for? Oh, that wasn't it.
You know what? You know what we need to do for Tom Hanks, and this will tie into both the shows:
Oh, shit. Come on.
Mazes and Monsters.
I've never heard of Mazes and Monsters.
Oh, Oh, you're missing out. Okay. It's a movie. It's a TV movie starring Tom Hanks back before Bosom Buddies. Okay, that old. It was done during the Satanic Panic of the 80s.
Okay.
It's basically a riff on D&D. And Tom Hanks, there's a group that goes LARPing, only they didn't have a term for it back then.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. It's on YouTube.
And talking of YouTube, there you go a little bit. You can watch that afterwards.
We should do a review of that.
Oh, dear.
That would be so much fun.
Really. It's nice
Yeah.
you think that.
You don't think it would be fun to... I just want to ask Tom Hanks how he views that movie now.
I like the Money
You
Pit.
know?
I thought the Money Pit was very good.
Oh, I liked the Money Pit. It's too long.
I can't.
But it's obviously too long in such a way that, like, they kept going, well, we can't cut that. That was so much fun.
I like the bit where the carpet swallows him up.
My favorite part is when everything goes wrong, all in sequence, and then he comes back and he says, let's not go there again.
Dear, we're
Yeah.
going to move on to Kolchak.
I just finished watching it before
I
we
just
recorded.
failed to finish watching it. I was about 10 minutes short, unfortunately. Even though I'd actually planned. I've got an itchy bloody thing. I don't know if it's what the cat snagged my hand. What? I don't
Uh-oh,
know.
put hydrocortisone on it.
Oh, I don't know. It's been itching me for a little bit. The I'll say it up front. I wasn't that impressed with this one. There's not an Indian burial. There's a burial ground. A company decides they want to build over it, so they move all the bodies. Unfortunately, the head of a dead biker gets accidentally left somewhere, and so his spirit. He's essentially a headless horseman, but he's a Hell's Angel, and he's got
With a sword.
With a sword, of course.
The gang is called the Jokers.
Yeah, it was the Jokers and the Bishops, and so bless them for trying. They try to shoot it well, but it's still bloody obvious. It's a man in a costume without a head. It's oh
not shot
God.
well.
It's Muller's
It's
robot.
horrible.
It's Muller's robot from Blake 7. It's oh God Almighty. And after having Max Klinger and Ernie Bilko, we've now got oh God
Frank
help us,
Burns.
Major Frank Burns. At least he didn't arrest a cow for being a spy this time.
You never know.
I really must get hold of a box set of the entirety of MASH.
There we go. I've linked it. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
What is?
Mazes and Monsters.
Okay. Right, yeah.
Because you knew I was going to go looking for it anyway.
I'd completely forgotten already, if I'm honest
I
with
know.
you.
So, well, what I liked about this Kolchak is that they were trying, yes, it's a play on Headless Horseman, but they were trying to not do supernatural creature from a culture. They were trying to do supernatural urban fantasy. And the idea is sound, because you read the summary and you go, ooh, a headless biker comes back to wreak revenge on the people who were in his gang in the 50s. Like, that's a fun idea. The execution leaves something to be desired. Pun
Right.
intended.
Do you know one of the writers was for that?
Yes, it's
Robert Zemeckis.
yes.
yeah.
Cutting his teeth.
Hey, gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, man. Sorry. Moon. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. There are cumulus clouds up there as well. And
Just
some-
remember, stay off the moors.
It's just. It's just beautiful.
And don't go into Piccadilly.
Why Piccadilly? Oh, you mean the
Because
train
that-
station? Tube station.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because that's where the werewolf is.
Yes, that's right. Again,
You-
I don't know if Lilibet knows this. Brian thought that the Blair Witch Project was real. So we have a slight problem in making sure
I'm
he
not alone.
realises-
I actually posted a video about that. I was not alone in this. There were dozens of people looking it up online in basically the early 2000s
Yeah, the Dark Ages.
and finding people did go disappearing and things did happen. It was all a viral marketing campaign.
And you fell for it.
Yeah, because it was superbly done.
Fair enough.
It hit the right points at the right time.
But every now and again, Lilibet, we have to check he's not having the same problem. For example, there's no werewolf in Piccadilly.
No,
No,
of
it's-
course not. They shot him.
Yes, that's what happened.
Yeah, see?
That we don't like strangers around here.
At least you got the movie reference.
Well, yes.
Granted, it's like an almost 40-year-old movie by now, but
I prefer A Company of Wolves.
that was a good one too.
It was very, very fairy tale like. I like that.
The Wolfman was excellent with Benicio del Toro.
Bless your little cotton socks. Can't you get more cream?
Wolf with Jack Nicholson, it was a little played out.
Being Human, on the other hand.
Dog Soldiers.
Yes, that's another good one.
Dog Soldiers was excellent.
Mr. Pertwee.
On the other hand, the werewolf one with Lon Chaney Jr., not so good.
This is true.
The Wolfman, not
Yeah.
good.
So,
There are issues with it. I
Yeah,
agree.
most of them are called Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and Dracula.
He's better in that one,
Yeah.
but it's just not good. Also, he's a perv in that movie. He's looking in this girl's window the whole time and then creeping
yeah.
on her. It's not good. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
don't blame Lon Chaney Jr. for that.
No, the character. He's
We
not a
play
good actor
we blame
in the
Larry
film.
Talbot.
The character is a creep, but as an actor, he's not a good actor in the film.
He's very wooden.
I am not really able to say one way or the other, but I should imagine Mark Gatiss would give you a run for your money in a debate about that.
Well, he'd be wrong. I'm sorry. It's just not a good movie.
I have to admit.
The Abbott and Costello ones
supposed
are
to
way
have-
better. They're the ones I first cut my teeth on monster
He's
movies.
supposed to have grown up in this little, whatever it is, Bavarian town or wherever it is.
Always a Bavarian town.
Yes,
Yeah.
except he has a different accent than everybody else. He doesn't know anyone who lives in the town, and no one ever treats him like he grew up there.
Yeah. You know who had a good werewolf in it? Penny Dreadful.
I watched a couple of episodes and I enjoyed it, but it was a little dark for my tastes.
I'm kind of into that. I like the dark stuff. Like my chocolate.
So moving on from a really bad episode of Kolchak.
It was really bad because of the special effects, let's face it.
It was just bad anyway.
The ending wasn't great either.
No.
I didn't catch
I
it.
found your head.
Oh,
Yeah, the problem was they wrote themselves into a corner with it. And there was no complex, first you saute the garlic, and then you add the celery, and then you stab him in the chest, and then you bury him at midnight. There was none of that. There was just reunite the two, and he will go away. What I did find interesting was the widow and the relationship that she has with the guy who's still in the gang. It's not a great writing and it's not great acting, but it's an interesting concept of what do you do when you've moved on from your youthful foolishness? And by foolishness, I mean murder.
criminality.
Yeah, but you're still friends with the people who are still in it, and it has damaged them. That's an interesting dynamic that this is not the place to explore.
A question.
I would like to point out something else about this episode.
Yes.
It came out at a time when this kind of thing was normal. Well, not normal, but being hit upon within different media. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, that was this era. He was big into this era. So a Ghost Rider on a motorcycle, Spectro motorcycle. Yes?
Auntie has a question, and it's a question from a long-term sufferer. It's our brother from another podcast, Old Man Purcell. He would like to know, what time of night did Kolchak go out on?
What do you mean?
Oh,
What time
when was it broadcast?
Oh, when was it aired?
What time?
I want to say Saturday nights at like 8:00.
I would have said 9, but yeah, it feels like a 9 o'clock show.
8, 9. I think the Nick at Night show was on at 9.
Shall I say that,
That
again
could be
3
what I'm
times quickly after watching The End of the Prisoner?
Nick at Night
Is on at 9?
is on at 9.
It's a bit of a tongue twister.
No. I take a drink.
I don't have to.
I
See, narcissist.
alcohol poisoning.
So anyway, Arthur Dent is having a bad day. His planet got blown up,
It
Hey,
did.
these things happen.
and he's suddenly discovered that his best mate, Ford Prefect, isn't in fact from Guildford, but is from a little star just outside Beetlejuice, our planet in Beetlejuice,
And shares 3 mothers with a galactic.
well,
His semi-cousin,
Hang
yes.
on, we haven't got to the semi-cousin yet. And Ford manages to get them off Earth using a subetheric thumb. And luckily, the Vogons are employing Dentrassi as their cooks. And the Dentrassi really hate Vogons. Vogons are incredibly officious, bureaucratic, and they don't allow hitchhikers, so the Dentrassi gleefully beam Ford and Arthur up, and they survive the destruction of Earth and certain death. At the end of the first episode, the cargo hold is opening, the door to the cargo hold is opening, and there's a Vogon guard ready to take them to certain death. We're now into episode 2.
Which is one of my favorite episodes of the series.
Vogon poetry. Yeah. What a remarkably silly yet wonderful concept. The poetry is so bad it will hurt you.
Yes,
And you
and
have
they
poetry-
recognize how bad it is, and therefore they use it as torture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's good stuff. And then, because they're strapped to poetry appreciation chairs, and once the captain's read his poem to them, he asks what they think. And somehow Arthur's got the wherewithal to actually come out with a critique, a proper critique.
Yeah, I used to use this against my high school teachers when we were forced to analyze poetry, and I had a really hard time analyzing poetry because at the time I was like, if the author said blue, he meant blue. Like, why are you making this more complicated than it has to be?
Cigar is just a cigar sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to dive into with poetry, but I was like, sometimes, like, you guys just don't make any sense. And this beautifully encapsulates Arthur just coming out with the most generic bullshit.
So what you're saying is, I write poetry to show that I am actually at heart a deep, caring guy. Yes. No, I throw it. I write it to throw my harsh exterior into light.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you off the ships anyway. They then get taken by a guard. Resistance is useless. Pretty bright guy. And they're flushed out of an airlock towards certain death. However, they get picked up
Because of phone numbers.
because of improbability. An improbability drive is working in the vicinity. Well, it would do. It goes at every point in the universe. But they'd end up on the Heart of Gold. And they're fetched by the most wretched robot you've ever met. Poor
Okay, but
Marvin.
before that, we have a beautiful surrealist
South End Beach.
scene. South End, where the sea stays steady as a rock and the buildings are washing up and down, where Ford is turning into a penguin and Arthur is rapidly running out of limbs.
Yes, how the hell's he going to operate his digital watch?
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful I don't think it works as well on TV as it does in the radio program.
Very, very difficult sequence to realise on television back then.
Yes. This is the part, I think, where whoever was doing the special effects, reading the script, went, oh my God, how am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to have this happen? How am I supposed to have him have 2 heads and 3 arms? What do you mean a robot? What do you mean a penguin? What is this supposed Douglas, what are you doing?
Being late, probably. Anyway, it's a ship that's
Don't
stolen
work
by
On radio.
It's a ship stolen by the suddenly former president of the galaxy, Zephyr
Yes.
Beeblebrox, the 4th, I think. No, the 9th. That's
The
right, it was-
nothing, because
yes,
it works backwards.
It's an
we
accident
learn later.
contraceptive in the time machine. And yeah, the coincidences suddenly start racking up left, right, and centre. And the only way that the president of the galaxy can handle is just to have lots and lots of drink. And that's where it ends this time round. There
Can
will
we talk
be
about the
certain
elephant in the room?
Go on.
That freaking awful second head. Oh
Apparently,
dear God. That
apparently
was
it was supposed to work a lot more than it did.
They had it on Tomorrow's World, which was coming in the future sort of show. Yeah, look, CDs, you can spread jam on them and they'll still play. There were some amazing things, the House of the Future and that sort of stuff. But they had the head on Tomorrow's World. 9 times out of 10, the fucking animatronics weren't working. So it just lolled.
that thing would give me nightmares if I was a kid watching this. That was horrendous. Awful.
But at least it got your attention. You couldn't stand the first episode.
I still couldn't stand this one.
One of the great classics of science fiction.
Way too much whimsy in sci-fi for me. Just
Oh,
not
see, that's
my
why I
taste.
love it. That's why I
it's
love
just
it.
not
'Cause
my taste.
he's the Terry Pratchett of sci-fi.
I have to be in a certain mood. Now, if you get me to watch Ice Pirates, I'll laugh all day long. But I just can't get into this one. It's just something about it. Just too much whimsy, I guess.
We're going to get a lot more plot going forward. And a lot more sort of I mean, there's still a lot of
Oh,
whimsy.
yeah. This is just episode 2, for God's sake.
Yes. But we're going to get a lot more plot going forward and a lot more like, oh, we've got to do this thing to get the thing to go to the place to do the thing, and more
Yeah.
sci-fi time travel type
Brian.
stuff.
Yes.
Do you like petunias?
Auntie?
Yeah.
Petunia?
No, do you like petunias?
No.
Do you like sperm whales?
No.
Okay, moving on.
So long. Thanks for all the fish.
What did you make of the computer graphics animated to the book stuff with Peter Jones's voice?
Yeah.
They
Just
weren't. They weren't computer graphics.
No, they were
actually
hand drawn.
Kevin Davis of this parish, spinster, worked on it. It's his first job.
Congratulations!
Yeah. That's why I keep. He said you'll come on.
I know a guy who used to work with Bart Sears back when he was doing X-Men Man of War for Valiant.
I worked at the studios, the animation studios, when they were doing Basil, the Great Mouse Detective, #2.
Oh, I do like Basil.
And then Spielberg came round.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a picture, hand-drawn picture of a Dalek on the wall saying, "Warning, new security in operation." And he looked at it and went, "Dalek. Yeah." And they had all this huge table of food for him, especially curries, because apparently he liked curries. And he took a couple of nibbles and then went off to do his thing. Everybody else could just... The place was barking mad. It wasn't open plan. They each had their own bordered cubicles, so it was a bit like a maze going through it, and they needed that to pin up pictures and whatever. And they had ping-pong ball guns. And you'd catch them in the middle of it, just running around this maze, firing ping-pong balls at each other. Trying to... Yeah. There was one guy, he'd just sit and look at a blank canvas for about 20 minutes. And then he'd start painting. And suddenly you'd get this brilliant city backdrop. Just out of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing place. Really was. Was it Basil the Great Mouse Detective twice, or was it... No! It was Fleavel Goes West 2.
Oh, Fievel Goes West.
2, whatever it was, yeah.
Fievel Goes West, yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah. That was interesting. This is obviously, again, it's there's a whole story coming. And like Lilibet says, there's plot coming.
Yes.
Slightly head-twisting plot, but plot nonetheless. This is 2 episodes, basically, of setup, to be fair, the first 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah. It's backstory.
Yeah. Things are going to start happening in the next episode.
Yeah.
It also serves to completely isolate Arthur, because now we're in Ford's comfort zone. He's the expert guide, and then now we're with, his cousin and everything, except...
Trisha McMillan.
Yes, and Trisha, right. But even she's been traveling now. So she's kind of closer to Zaphod than she is to Arthur. Although she's human, and they do bond over that a little bit more later. And I'm trying to think if the moment is... Okay, yeah, actually, the moment is right at the end of this episode, where Ford thinks that Zaphod's handing him the drink, and he drinks the drink. And Ford, at this point, has been, like, Arthur thinks he's cool. And this is the part where you realize, oh, Ford isn't the cool one anymore. Zaphod's the cool one. And Ford is like, oh, I was, I had that role for a minute, and now I've been supplanted. And he has feelings.
I love the fact when they meet each other to try and out-cool each other. But
yes.
The thing is, Beeblebrox is not cool.
No, but he thinks he is.
He definitely thinks he is. There's a lot, obviously. There's only the one series of this made. The radio series, I think there's 6 of the.
They did a radio series of Star Wars too.
Well, the radio series for this came first. This is where it's where it all springs from. The books, the towels, the TV series, eventually the film.
I like the film.
It's got a lot of whimsy in it, Brian.
There's parts
I have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I saw this before I knew about the radio episodes.
So did I.
So I think in fact, I know I'd seen this because my mother introduced me to this because it was on PBS. And we taped it, and then I taped the audio. So my sister and I had the audio of this series that we used to play over and over again, especially when we were going to sleep. So I know the dialogue of this, like, it's worn a groove in my brain. So there's lines in here that they corrected from the radio series, where there was an obvious flub in the radio series. And they corrected it here. And so when I hear the radio series, my brain like
There's a good one in the radio scripts. Prostechnik Vogon Jeltz goes, okay, now either die in the endless vacuum of space or sound effect. Dramatic chord, brackets, shrubbery. Right? Okay. But, and then there's Paddy Kingsland's music. I wish to God it would get a decent release. Come on, Mark Ayres. It's the music of Hitchhikers. We grew up with that music. Talking of which, Brian, do you recognise the tune that opens and closes? The signature tune? You like your American bands? No, he's dead. Possibly. He's thinking. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's thinking.
No.
Oh, it's the Eagles. Journey of the Sorcerer. It's from the One of These Nights album, except it's a rearrangement for the TV series. I thought you liked that. I like Journey of the Sorcerer, the original. It's good.
Hotel California.
Yeah, I do love that song as well. It's a gorgeous song. Yeah, you see, the trouble is, like I say, first two episodes, you can't say too much because not much happens.
Yeah.
It'll kick off.
Especially in a half-hour episode.
Well, yeah, on the BBC Light Entertainment budget.
Yeah, well...
I mean, they work wonders. Douglas didn't like the director. Adam Bell, I think his name was. And I would like you to note...
The Alan Bell?
I would like you to note the ending to episode 6. And then I'd want you to go and listen to Let's Save Confidential. I threw everything, including the kitchen sink, into that. Mark Platt verse from Lungbarrow, and Dr. Phil on his viola, and we had one of the children of time, it was Xander, I think, saying the lyrics, and then I finished it off with the same ending as Louis Armstrong's Wonderful World in Hitchhikers. I didn't know when to stop. But it worked. Confidential is back. It's got a different name. It's called Unleashed, but it's confidential. Success. Ha! Where's your doctor in distress now? Sorry. Yeah. You weren't here for the recordings. Oh, God.
For what?
For Let's Save Confidential.
Yes, I was. I'm on it.
Yeah, no, you weren't here for me and Dave.
Oh, for the two of you recording it? No. I did re-listen to it when you posted the link, though, and...
Fond memories, to be honest.
Yes, and it made me laugh.
The thing about it is, the 7-inch version, it's been censored. Dave's bollocks at the end of every time is just cut from it. I've got an album version, which is a bit longer, and has the proper Morse code introduction, which, if anybody actually wants to transcribe it, I think what I put was, in Morse, there's always one snooty bugger who knows, no, smart ass who knows their Morse code. Yeah, I enjoyed doing it. I wouldn't mind doing something like that again, but no energy anymore. Oh well. Okay, so are we enjoying Hitchhikers? Shut up, Brian.
I like Hitchhikers. I actually stuck it on. I had a planning period, and I was grading a bunch of papers, and I stuck it on in the background while I was at work while I was grading papers. There were not children in the room.
Fair. Oh, it's Face of Evil we're doing next week, isn't it? In a fortnight's
Yes.
time, sorry. Right. So it's Face of Evil. It's the ratings war. It's Brian. What's next episode of Kolchak?
Good question. Let's find out. Because I haven't looked. It's been a while.
And Fit the Third of the TV series.
Yes.
Let's see. Where the hell did I put it? There it is.
Hello. Oh wow. This
The
is
next
brilliant.
episode of Cult. Ooh, this sounds spicy. Demon in Lace.
Oh my.
Like I said, sounds spicy. Carl has to get his groove on. What can I say?
Oh God Almighty. Why did you do this to me? Was it revenge for something I did to you? Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I've done a lot to you, to be
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
I'm still paying you back for life on Mars. We haven't even progressed beyond that yet.
Oh no.
We haven't looked at Ashes to Ashes. The only time we've looked at Ashes to Ashes is when Joe was on the show and she had a theory every week, and it was Joe gets it wrong. And she'd say
See,
her theory for the next
I've
episode.
I've actually
I
said
remember
if we
that.
set up a Patreon,
Yes.
they could donate to make me watch Ashes to Ashes and be tortured by it.
In camera?
Yeah, I could do it on camera.
There's a slight problem with that.
Hmm.
I can't be asked to have a Patreon.
Exactly. So
want
I'm
money.
safe
I don't
for
want
the
money.
rest of my life.
I can't be asked with any
I would
of
go
that.
with a Patreon. I mean, you could set up a
And
Patreon. It's
well,
not
the
that
amount of-
hard.
Yes, but it's the amount of extra content you've got to put together. I mean, Toby works his bloody arse off. He's had people leave, cancel their Patreon subscription to him because there's too much, which I still don't quite wrap my head around. That really is cutting.
I'm
off your
just
nose to
saying, you know.
spite your face.
I mean, people on YouTube are like, and subscribe to my Patreon where you get to watch my reactions 2 days early. Okay.
Again, and this is a point that I did bring up when you first talked about this, Brian. We don't have an audience.
We do because we do get views on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't checked to see how many of those are, how long each click lasts for.
Yeah, I don't want to look at them for the RPG either. I'm really scared about
No,
that.
no, it's bad for your ego.
The
Yeah.
RPG's doing better than the Blood, and considering
I
we
like
haven't been
I
doing
like
that
seeing
long-
the views go up. I mean, we got 100 and some odd for our first episode of.
Oh yeah, the first
Tales of
one
the
will
Astros.
always do a lot better. A, it's there longer, and B, it's the one that everyone's going to go straight to. Which is a shame, really, because most shows on their first show aren't particularly great. I mean, you know.
I know ours certainly wasn't.
So anyway, we got the RPG coming up next Saturday night. Tell us, Brian.
Next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Well, no, at 3 p.m. U.S. time, Eastern Standard.
Oh fucking!
What is it?
hell.
9 p.m.
Half
your
past,
time.
Well, it would be 7 p.m. So I'm going to have to be back before 6:30. I find it hard enough getting back before 7:30.
You're elderly. Don't push yourself this hard.
Oh, so I can turn up late then.
No.
Oh, you see.
We have 3 players left. You can't turn up late.
I don't know what's happened to Spanky. I've not heard from him. Oh, since he said he was
Yes,
going to
we
come
wish
on the
him
show.
well.
We do,
Yes.
Spanks. I'm really worried about you, love.
We worry.
It's, yeah. Anyway, what are you doing next week, a little bit?
I'm taking Thursday and Friday off
Yes.
because
Smart
that's a
move.
year since David went.
Yep.
And so I'll go to work early in the week, and then I'm just going to give myself some time. The only time I could get the doctor's appointment, it's just a yearly checkup thing that I was supposed to do over the summer and completely forgot that
See,
I was supposed
we
to do.
don't have annual checkups.
I
over
had
here.
blood work done. I'm on a continuing medication, so I have to have annual blood work or every 6 months or so, and then annual blood work for something else. and a scan for something else. And then I just need to meet once every 6 months to a year. It's just check in, make sure everything's going fine. Had blood work done. She was really good, but it's always a butterfly needle in my hand.
I
It's
had
the only
flu
way.
and COVID last Saturday. I hardly felt either of them.
Good.
Um,
Very good. I'm going to
Very
get my flu
impressive.
shot.
Yeah, when I go to get mine, I'm gonna have to schedule it for like a Friday
Yeah.
because
Take-
I'm out for 48 hours after that.
I've been very lucky, though I have to admit, I think it's a case of COVID versus my insane immune system. That's probably what it is, which does make me wonder just how effective the vaccines are on me.
Well, so
The last
yeah,
time I got a
That's my
COVID,
next-
I was asleep for 18 hours.
wow.
Lightweight.
Oh yeah, it knocked me on my ass.
Lightweight. That's all I'm saying. Only 18 hours.
It wouldn't have been bad, but you know, I didn't enjoy the
I
sleep.
love long sleeps. I like sleeping. It's one of my favourite things to do. To be fair, I'm very fond of sleeping.
If I could sleep like my teenage self could,
Yeah, those were the days.
yeah, zero responsibility.
It is
Sleep
why
all
one of
day.
the reasons that when I go home
gonna
and visit
love
my
being
parents,
retired.
I sleep better
What
because
makes you think I'm going to retire?
I sleep better when I'm there because there's other adults in charge of the house. Like if the phone rings or the doorbell rings or there's a delivery or whatever, like or something happened, I'm not the adult in charge. Not that I wouldn't get up and do something about it, but it's just that like this is not my house and I'm
You
not
don't
the
have
adult
to
in
do the
charge.
cooking. You don't have to go do the grocery shopping. You have
Yeah,
none
I mean
of
I
that.
do. Because my parents are in their my father's in his 70s now. My mother turned 70 in November. So I do cook when I'm there and help out and, do the things that you should do. And I enjoy doing them. But sort of, this is not my responsibility kind of feeling, which means I sleep really well.
It's not your circus, not your monkeys.
Yeah.
And what about you, Brian? What are you doing next week?
A lot of work. I'm starting a new Foundry project, so that should take up a good amount of time. I get bored easy.
Tell us about the Marvel thing that people are using now.
The Marvel thing that people are using
Yeah,
now?
you came up with a Fear Itself Marvel.
Oh, one of the Marvel groups I'm in, it's the unofficial canon project. They continue the tradition for the classic Marvel phase rip game of putting out source books, Marvel files, little monthly things for that. They used this last Marvel file was all my builds for the Worthy. If you're not familiar with the Worthy,
Go read Fear Itself.
go read Fear Itself. They feature prominently. Basically, it's tooled up evil versions of some heroes. Some bad guys get a powering up. Has to deal with Odin's
Ben
brother.
Grimm
Kull.
almost dies.
Ben Grimm almost dies. Thor does die.
Franklin saves his life.
Well, Franklin's a god.
Yeah,
I mean,
but at the
let's face
time,
it.
he didn't want his dad to know about it.
Franklin would feature in my Star Wars game. Okay, that's who I drew Colin from. Think about it. Think about it. Make the connection. See, I broke her. I broke her hard. Cute little cherub kid with the power of a god.
Go get him, Oscar. Go get him.
Go to your happy place.
Give him
Go to the happy place. Anyway, the latest Marvel file, issue 81. They've done 81 of these. It's free. It's downloadable from the unofficial canon project on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Facebook. Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Good. I'm pleased for you.
Cool.
It's lovely.
Very cool.
Next week I'm doing fuck all. I've got to stop smoking.
And you're gonna like it.
I don't have a choice, do I?
Well, be gentle with yourself at the end of the week.
I say I'm just going to be even more bored.
You're not gonna watch the little kids go trick or treating?
No, because I would actually give them here. Why are you giving us a pineapple? Take the pin out of the top. That would be me.
No, I like trick or
That's
treaters.
because
It's
you're
fun.
American.
The little kid trick or treaters are cute.
They're
It's an
cute.
insidious thing that came over here after E-fucking-T. No one trick-or-treated before then, over here.
Look at it this way: if kids are trick or treating, they still have some sense of wonder and whimsy, and we have to
I'll give
nurture
you that.
that.
I will give you that. It's just I love the fact that it's a case of don't talk to strangers all year round. Suddenly let them give them you candy.
All right, here's what I told my high schoolers.
Yeah.
No one likes strangers' children enough to give them their drugs.
Yes, yes. You're not getting my edibles. They're expensive enough as it is. You're not
I
getting.
said what I
Q-Ones.
worry about with you guys is dark costumes, crossing the street, people don't see you, little kids, excited and running and traffic and people don't see them, or, fooling around, playing around with your friends and somebody gets
Well,
hurt.
in
That's
your
what I worry
area,
about.
Are the kids done trick or treating at like 5, right before it gets dark? It's
Not really, but like we have, because I'm in apartments, hang on, I gotta go because my mom just called twice.
Oh, we're going to go anyway. So
All right,
We're
I'll
gonna
talk
go.
to you guys
thank
later.
you very much, Elizabeth.
Bye.
Lovely. Take care. I'm just trying to find the ratings war.
That's okay. It's the ratings war. It's a big finish. You'll find it later.
I found it. There we go.
See?
Where are
Oh. You notice how she leaves and we're immediately going to.
Yeah, man. That's how it's done. That's how us professionals do it. Oh,
Well,
dear.
look at it this way: it's another Halloween episode in the box and checked off.
Right then, we are going back in 2 weeks' time. Remember that, folks.
2 weeks. That would be the. What is it? The 12th?
12th, yeah. It's my
12th.
birthday episode. It'll
Oh,
be
dear
my
God.
birthday. I might be out on the 18th, which is an RPG night, because I think. Oh no, Noonan can't make the 18th. All right, so
Does this surprise you?
he's a very busy man. To be
He is
fair.
a busy man. I agree, but
I can't find what I'm looking for. Oh, here we are. Okay, say goodbye, Bri.
goodbye, Brian.
Basically, everyone, see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Oscar Puffin could take John Levine in a fight. This show's getting 2-channel television.